back in Antalya on the Lara Strip. This is the Royal Wings Resort. It's one of the better ones, although admittedly online pictures make it look even better than it is, so this is just a reality check really. We're outside some of the shops, which is useful if you want to grab something at night, but everything in the area, the local area, is pretty expensive, so you're better off going to the town centre or somewhere a little further away. Migros is usually my go-to for random bits and pieces. So you've got free car parking here. This entire strip is all the car parking they have. The hotel has about 12 to 1300 guests, so you'd think they'd have more car parking, but the reality is it's never been full, so I think they've got it about right. Not many people rent a car. I choose to rent a car every time I come because each way in taxi from the airport alone is probably about 50-60 pounds. That's what they charge you. And you can rent a car for the week. If you look on VIP.com or Kayak, it's generally around 100-ish pounds for the week. These are 2025 prices. So walk up the drive. On the right hand side you've got the pools and play areas. They've got some dodgems, and I'm just going to skip through here. Some trampolines. All of these are free, but they do have timings. We've got the water park over there, which is pretty good. So yeah, dodgems, 3 PM to 5 PM, 7 PM to 9. So yeah, that's pretty cool. These donuts in the pool, they're free to take. Got some more swings, Ferris wheel. And there's a little hut over here where you can grab some food as well. Everything in the resort is free. I haven't managed to find anything here that I've had to pay separate for, so that's pretty good. Usually in most resorts they charge for fresh juice at the very least, but here they don't have any fresh juice, so don't have to worry about that. So we're going round the back of the resort now, and I'm just going to pause and show you when I'm a little bit closer. So we're towards the back of the hotel now. There's some more play areas here, swimming pool. This is really where the sun hits. When you've got a room on the other side, which is what we've got, unfortunately it's quite shadowy and dark in the balconies. We tend to leave our clothes there to dry, but it's not brilliant, but it does dry over 2 days. You've got a kids club here for the little kiddie winks, and yes, fairly pleasant. Again, you've got ice creams and juice places. Although everything's closed right now, they will open once the breakfast hall has closed. Kids club's timing. There we go. And now I'm gonna walk on a little bit more and pause it so you don't get bored. A little bit further on, beautiful palm trees here. Plenty of sun loungers, some outdoor showers, And again, lots of food and drink everywhere. There's a bar over there. It's a nice place to be. And then straight ahead you can see the beach. It's a fair old walk actually. So there's the hotel, and all the way to the back, probably about 10 minutes. But again, Lara Beach, most of the hotels along here are about the same. They've got roughly the same setup. It's just some have better facilities than others, but generally speaking, on Lara Beach, they're all very good. If you've booked a hotel in Lara, Antalya, you're doing well. I think Grand Park Lara is probably the cheapest one, and there's not as much to do there, but the food is excellent. So just for food points, I'd score that one fairly high. But that's on the other side of the road where they don't have a beach. But all the hotels that are against the beach, generally they are very good. You've got all the dolphins on this side, Titanic, Royal Wings, obviously this one. Yeah, they're pretty decent. Got some tennis courts over there, and basketball as well. So again, you've got a food hut here. So this is the last food place before you enter the beach, whereas some of the other hotels do have little food huts on the beach. It's on their section of the beach. Not only that, some of them have fellas that come bring you ice creams and drinks while you're in your sun lounges, which is very nice. Royal Wings doesn't have that, but you know, for next time. We've got a little bar here for drinks. And yeah, you've got the pier. All the hotels are generally connected through the beach, so if you carry on walking, you'll end up in the backside of the other hotels. But yeah, if you try and go into any of the other hotels, they'll stop you because you'll not be wearing their wristband. They're fairly strict about wristbands here. They want to see it every time you're in and out of any resort. So yeah, very nice. There's some jet skis over there. You can rent them out. Someone in our group went to get them, and I think it was about €70 for 10 minutes or €60 for 10 minutes. That seemed quite pricey to me. I think obviously they're paying rent to the resort as well, which is why it's a premium here. But I think if you went away to, you know, somewhere that does the boating and the jet skiing, I'm sure you can get it for a lot cheaper. That's generally how it is here. That's why I like having a car, because you can call the vendors directly and you know, make arrangements with them, and it's usually a lot cheaper, especially if you can get there yourself. Driving here is fairly easy as well, unless you're in the town centre area. That's the only spot where traffic gets pretty dense. Everywhere else it's very sparse. You need to get a little bit used to the driving on the left hand side, but once you're over that, it's quite easy. Alright, I'm going to walk back to the hotel now. I'm going to pause it and I'll show you the insides and the lunch hall and the rest of it. So I'm back to the hotel now, and if you walk through this cave, that takes you to the lower floor. Well, it's below ground floor. They call it lower floor. And this leads you to the breakfast lunch area and dinner. You have some shops, some very expensive shops here. Right, so This is the breakfast, lunch and dinner hall. Plenty of options. You generally have the salads here, and then lots of bread. You have the fresh pasta pizzas over there. Everything's closing down now, probably not the best time, but it just gives you an idea of the scale of things. Here you have the meat selections, all the grills are going off, and they do nice steak, turkey and chicken as well. Then the juice and the drinks. There's lots of tea and coffee machines dotted around the place, like there. And then all of this circle here is full of desserts. They do San Sebastian, which is my favorite dessert over in Antalya, but it's very hard to get a hold of. So far I've managed to get one piece because it keeps running out. So it's a bit annoying. They don't realize that that's one of their favorites and they need to stock up on more of that. But hey ho. They do fresh omelets and they make fried egg there as well. So yeah, overall food score Antalya, I would give it about a 6. I would give Grand Park Lara probably an 8. And yeah, you know, it's good, but they suffer from the same issue most resorts do, that the food looks delicious but it doesn't taste as good as it looks, which is quite annoying. Oh, there's a separate kids restaurant here as well for the kids. Okay, let's go up to the lobby now, which is one floor up. I'm gonna pause it and I'll show you when I get there. So this is the lobby area as you enter the hotel from the main entrance. You've got guest relations sitting there and the lobby staff. You've got a bar down there and seating area, and you've got all the tour guides and very expensive rental cars over there. Now in the night time, if you arrive late, they open up some areas here, which I'm going to show you. There's another bar here and some chill out spaces. Now, here just on the right hand side there's a patisserie. This opens quite late in the evening. In fact, there's the timings there. Let's have a look. But yeah, so far I've not managed to find anything that tastes good here, unfortunately. So 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're desperate and you've come back late and you just want to grab something. They have some sandwiches and that, but it's not great. This is one of the a la carte restaurants. They do Italian and Mediterranean in this one. So it's done in the same place. There's a big bar. This is the late night restaurant. This opens from midnight and goes to about 7 a.m. So yeah, when you come here on a late flight, you're going to end up in this place to have something to eat. And this is the final a la carte restaurant. And here they do steakhouse and Turkish. So prices, the steakhouse is the most expensive, that's €35 per person. The Turkish is €20 per person. The Italian is €25 per person. And I can't remember the Mediterranean, but I think that's about €20-25 per person as well. They're pretty expensive. I would just go out to the restaurants outside if you're after something a bit different. Although some people say the Turkish meat smells quite a lot, and the restaurants outside must say it's difficult to find a fancy place. We're in a big group and we want to do a big dinner together, which is why we've booked here, because it's cleaner. I was actually trying to book an a la carte restaurant from another hotel, again, because they're fancy and nice atmosphere. Unfortunately, most hotels in this Lara strip have a policy where only guests can use the a la carte restaurants, even though you're paying for it. But hey ho. Okay, now I missed the gym area, so I'm going to go back downstairs and show you that before I come up. So look, there's a giddy disco, which is pretty tragic if I'm honest. I don't think it's worth showing anyone that. There's a game room and a gym pool area, which I'm going to show you now. The hammam here is also free, which is basically a steam room. So, through all the very expensive shops and hairdressers. Oh, by the way, it's well worth going to a Turkish barber's. They're excellent. For about 12 quid, they do your hair, beard, and hot towel, and wax your ears and wax your nostrils, and it's a pretty cool experience. And like I say, it's only 12 quid. You're not going to get that in the UK. So you've got a doctor's office here. Hopefully you won't need to use that. And then a gym. And there are the timings just there. So it's a medium-sized gym, but it's got everything most people will need just to keep themselves going through the holiday. And then you have the hammam area. Hello, morning. And the indoor pool. Right, so I'm going to pause it and go back up and show you one of the rooms. Forgot to mention, obviously the arcade is paid for. Yeah, they're all the slot machine style, or you can use your card. So yeah, that's not free. But generally this hotel is pretty good for not charging you for silly little things. Right. So we're upstairs. There's the lifts over there, and we have 3 of these open atriums, and the rooms are to either side of them. And like I say, we've got a room which is facing the high street, so it's not as sunny as the rooms facing the beach area. And let's go in. So, got the bathroom's fairly nice. There's no obvious signs of mold or anything that would really put you off, although the corners are a little bit more grimy. But yeah, it's not bad. Plenty of storage space in the wardrobes. Got the TV. Yeah, this is a deluxe room. So you've got a double, well, probably a king size bed and a single bed to the side, sofa. And this is your view from the balcony. Like I said, it's nice and sunny out there, but it's all shaded here. And it's from that Ferris wheel, which is basically all this hotel. Yeah, that's the car park that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And you know, you've got all the shops out there, but like I said, this strip is all for tourists, so If you enjoy getting ripped off, then that's the place to go. But otherwise, you'd go a little bit further afield, and you know, you'd find some reasonable shops. Only changes since last time. There's Land of Legends has got a Nickelodeon land now. I haven't seen that yet, but that's, you know, we can only hope that it's half decent. Mount Chimera. It's a really cool place. You climb up a mountain and there's fire coming out of it. That's about 2,000 years old, that area, apparently. There's natural gas. Google it up, really cool. Search Fire Mountain or Mount Chimera, I can't really say it. Goynuk Mountain is another cool one where you go up and they take you in boats through the natural springs. Really nice experience. Land of Legends is one that I wouldn't miss. And what else? Obviously they do the quad biking and the jet skiing and the horse riding, and all those kind of excursions are fairly easy to find everywhere. You've got the Old Town, which is, you know, good for the fake clothes shopping and, you know, traditional bits. And then you've got all the malls where you have a lot of Turkish brands, LC Wikiki and De Facto. They're like the Primark and budget H&M of Turkey. But, you know, if you want just some clean, cheap, fresh clothes, that's the place to go. But yeah, they've got all the brands in the malls as well. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.